Hi, everybody. Welcome to Amityville Apothecary and Padre's Ostara Celebration. Love in the time of COVID-19. We are here today to celebrate our first day of spring, which admittedly was Thursday. Hey, I see Danielle is hanging out with us here, so we've got at least some company. I love you guys all for being here. We did the test just 30 seconds before. And I said, I am going with the idea that done is better than perfect. I am overexposed, but I am here and I am happy to have all of you here. So just some housekeeping before we start. I plan on doing a full ritual. My hope is that it will be as if you were sitting in the upstairs at the apothecary and in circle with us as we had hoped we could be together. So in just a few minutes, I am actually going to cast full circle. This is my office behind me. Hello, you can see we've got the altar set up. In the meantime, if you're just getting notification of this now, you are going to need a couple things on your end if you're going to take part. So you will need a little glass jar. I have one about that big. You can, of course, use whatever you have around because, again, this is unusual times and we are here doing the best we can. So if all you've got is, a pickle jar, have at it. It's perfect. Use it. You'll need some salt. Kosher is preferable, but any old salt you got is okay. We may be using Himalayan later today if I run out of what I got, but I've got some kosher. Sugar is optional. The idea is that we're making salt jars today. Salt jars are an old tradition for protection. The salt absorbs negativity and traps it in the jar so that it doesn't affect you. We're also going to add some sugar to those jars because in addition to protecting us and protecting our households, we also need a little sweetness because, my family is on varied stages of quarantine and everybody's in their own different timeline. I'm on day 7 of my quarantine. My husband's on day 11. My kids had to work, so they're a little further behind, but we're all on each other's nerves. So if you need to go and grab those things, go do that now. I will give you like 3 or 4 minutes where I'm just kind of going to talk about the idea behind what's going on seasonally, because that's why we're here. That's why we're celebrating today. So Ostara marks the spring equinox. It is that time of year when day and night are equal. So we've moved from Imbolc, where we were just noticing that the days were starting to get longer. We were just starting to feel in that increase in light, because actually that's what we're responding to. Temperature be damned. It's the increase in light that we respond to. We were beginning to feel the stirrings and like winter was starting to let go and decrease its stronghold on us. So now we've moved through the point in the year where we're at the equinox, where day and night are equal. And those days are going to continue to get longer and longer. And that is a good thing. We really, I don't know about you, but I need a nice healthy dose of that. So we are going to keep moving ahead with that. And with that comes the increased feelings of hope, the desire to be out more, the desire to be in nature more, the desire to really soak in that vitamin D. And at this point in time, really, that's a lot of what it is that we're going to be doing, is spending that time in nature away from other folks. So hello, everybody who's here. I think that I've given everybody enough time to get themselves together and get back. I am hoping at this juncture that the link is in the Facebook event. If it's not, we can always do this later. I know that your spirits are all here with me and that we are in good shape. So, my loves, let's begin. So just a few more words about today and what we'll be doing. I am casting a full circle, which means we'll be calling the 4 directions. I am invoking spirit. And then from there, once we're fully in sacred space, we will go ahead and do our little magic work that we're doing. Hopefully you've got your pen and paper, because we're also going to write a little wish for protection on our piece of paper. Now, hopefully the sound is good. I don't know, because I can't see you loves from where you are, but we're going to go with what we have. I made myself a little flower crown because I felt in need of just a little extra something. And so we start. I'm going to call us all into circle with a little sound. We begin in the east, where we call in the element of air. From the direction of sunrise, we invoke new beginnings and the energy of spring herself. We call on you now to guard this rite and witness this circle. In the south, we call in the power of fire. The warmth of the noonday sun. We call on you now to guard this rite and witness this circle. In the west, we call in the power of water, of longer days, of our hearts full. We call on you now to guard this rite and witness this circle. And in the north, we call in the power of earth, our grounding, our connection, the feel of the grass beneath our feet when we're outside and everything begins to grow. We call on you now to guard this rite and witness this circle. And we call in that which is bigger. We call in the divine, the sacred feminine, the divine masculine. We call on you now to guard this rite and witness this circle. So we come together today to celebrate Ostara, to celebrate the first day of spring, to celebrate the fact that the days are longer, the earth is warming up, at least on this hemisphere, that we are able as best we can to be together. The wheel of the year turns on and on, bringing us to and from one season and from into another. All time is here and now inside this sacred circle. And so we celebrate Ostara, even remotely as best we can. So for today, we are making salt jars for protection. And so if you've got your jar, I invite you now Go ahead and pop that open. I found mine in the basement. It's the wonder of things you can find when you are cleaning up because you can't leave your house because of the pandemic quarantine. It is from an old vacation that we took. So mine actually has sentimental value. It's from La Semana, a fabulous vacation we took. And if you've got your salt, I've got mine in a little bowl here, and I'm trying very hard not to set myself on fire. You're going to start by adding salt to your jar. Great thing about these is they're very simple and very easy. And from what I can tell of the lore, they've been used for a very, very long time. As I said when we were starting, the salt absorbs all negativity. So fill your jar up, about halfway full maybe. Really, there's no wrong way to do this. You want enough room that you can shake it. If you've decided to add some sweetness to your jar, if you've decided to add sugar, I invite you to go ahead and add a couple spoonfuls of that. If you're just pouring in from the container, that's okay. One of the questions I often get about doing ritual is, do you have to wear special stuff? Is there special, do you need anything? The answer is no. I happen to have bought this cute little dress for the world shut down, and I was determined to wear it, which is why we're here now. So now, if you've got that piece of paper, you want to go ahead and write down on it your wish for protection. So I posted in Facebook before, and I don't know if this is going to show up on the camera because I've never used YouTube Live before. But anyway, mine says, may peace, health, and emotional well-being bless this household. Now, traditionally, you would write peace and health. I added the emotional well-being because we've got a number of people in our household that suffer from depression and anxiety, and now is a time that it's really amped up. So you're going to go ahead and write your own little blessing on it. I know I've got to jump ahead of you, but go ahead and write down. And if it feels right, you can go ahead and add your name to it. The name of the household is a nice thing to add to it. You can add whatever wish. If you're concerned about prosperity, I like a more neutral language in this. I like maybe not necessarily saying, bless this house with prosperity, but something more along the lines of keep us from want, or something a little modest, something a little with humility, just personal kind of preference on this. We are asking the element of salt to do a job for us, so it's polite to ask. Okay, so once you've got your little scroll of paper, I'm going to bend down so you can see this a little bit better. I am very patiently kind of rolling this up. Now, some directions online say you can do this on a Post-it note and fold it. I'm a sucker for anything with a scroll-like effect. So you're just kind of going to roll it up. All right, just like that. Then, easy peasy. She goes right into the jar. The top back on. Salt and sugar all over your carpet, or wherever it is that you happen to be. And as best you can, if you've got the top, put it on. If you've got a little locking mechanism, and then give it a good shake. And as you're shaking, I want you to take this time to really focus your energy on what protection looks like, what health looks like for your family. We are all trying very hard to stay in quarantine, to adhere to the CDC's guidelines. We know that mentioning this makes this ritual not exactly evergreen. People will look back on this post and wonder, hopefully wonder what it was that we were talking about. But imagine that the salt and the sugar are infusing protection around your house, around your loved ones. Imagine the sweetness of the sugar seeping in to the different interactions that you're having with your home. Allow for whatever blessings want to come forth from this time. It is an anxious, crazy time. It is so worrisome and so difficult on so many levels. And yet, there are beautiful moments. There are silly moments. There are wrestling in the kitchen, and there are bad movie moments, and there are snuggles in bed moments, and there are snuggles with animal moments. And there is a quietude to the world that we have not had in quite a while. And all of those things are potential blessings. Open your heart up to those potential blessings. Allow them to come to you. We are all in sacred space together. I drew the circle here in my office, but reach out now, all across the East Coast, all across the United States, up into other countries. We've got people from Canada. Who knows, maybe we've got people from Europe that are with us in circle today, and we are all here together. I know that we're not here in person. I know that all of my loves from the apothecary are scattered to the four winds and doing their own thing, but we are together energetically. That is an incontrovertible truth. And all across our far-flung circle, there are candles. And if you haven't yet, I invite you to light your candle. Light that candle and join in the circle. Give your salt jar another shake. As we ask for blessings from the four directions on this Ostara celebration, on this time in our lives. It's not a very long ritual today. If we were together, we would share what it is that we had asked for. We would share our experience. You're welcome to share in the comments. Dina and Danielle and I will be sure to go back through and comment. If you want to share a picture of your salt jar, we can do that as well. We'd love to see what you got created. Share on Facebook. I want to say this too before we close. I joke when we're all together at the apothecary that no religious service gets out without announcements, and we must be formal because we always have announcements. So here's my announcement for today. Show your support for small businesses. If you are not under full lockdown yet, go out and eat, well, go get takeout and eat in your house at local restaurants and tip your workers. Go find that local store and buy from them online. And on that note, go to the apothecary's website. They've got the Friendly 15 ticket so that you can get some money off. But our small businesses are hurting at this point in time, and no one knows what's happening, and that is a huge amount of stress. We love Dina and Danielle. We love what the apothecary has come to mean to all of us. And that means that we need to do our part. And if, like so many others, you don't know where your financial stability is going to come from, and you really don't feel as though you can purchase, you can still support small businesses. You can like all of their social media. Just go seek them out and like their YouTube channel and their Instagram and their Facebook, and go sign up for their emails. go and comment on things, share their stuff, do all those things, because we don't have to spend the money, though it is important to. That is the end of our announcements. I hope that you're all still here because we still have to close. And I just hope we're all good. I hope we're well. I love you guys. And so now what we opened at the beginning, we closed, we called in the 4 directions, and now it is time to bid them farewell. So when we do these rituals with my little group, the group that we celebrated with when my children were growing up, we took the Celtic tradition of the phrase, merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. And when I got to the merry meet again, we all said it together. So we're all together, even though we're not together. So say it with me. To the east, our thanks and blessings. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. To the south, the element of fire in those warming days, our thanks and blessings. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. To the west, to our deep feelings that we have for one another, however distant we are, our thanks and blessings. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. To the north, that we may stay grounded, our thanks and blessings. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. To the center, to that which is bigger, to that which keeps us together, our thanks and blessings. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. As we gather up the energy of the circle, and each of our individual circles as we created them in our own space, in our own time. And we send this energy out into the world for its highest good, keeping just a little for ourselves so that we may soothe our own hearts and await the warmer days of spring, that we may make it through until we see each other for Beltane in a few more months. Our circle is open but unbroken, and so we say merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Thank you all for being here in whatever way you could. Stick those glass jars with your sweetness and your protection somewhere safe, and know that from Dina and Danielle at the Apothecary and from me here at the Padre, we love you all. We are thinking of you all. We are all in this together, and we are here for you no matter what it is that you need. Merry meet, merry part, till merry meet again.